Hey everyone, it's Rachel Raquel, singer, songwriter, philanthropist. So the name Rachel Raquel is something that I thought of so many years ago when I first started in my music career. Obviously, my first legal name is Rachel. And I thought about my character and the person that I am. I'm sweet, but I'm also spicy. So Rachel is the person that takes care of business at home. She's the person that gets all the business deals moving and running to support Rachel Raquel, right? And then Raquel is the one that's gonna get up there on the stage. She's gonna shake her hair. She's gonna pull people up on the stage. She's gonna have the dancers dance on them. I mean, we're gonna have a great time because like I said, we're selling an experience. So Rachel Raquel is me and I am Rachel Raquel. So music is something that's part of my heart. And it's just ironic that I'm from one of the best cities in the country, Philly. So I love everything about Philly. You know, it's the home of brotherly love and sisterly affection. A lot of people say that we don't have that, but it's easy to say that when you're not from Philly. We know where we stand, we know what things are, and we know when to take things serious and kind of not. So just being from Philly and being affiliated with music is amazing. We have Jill Scott, we have Music Soul Child, we have The Roots. We have so many artists that have come to Philly that are not from Philly, but we acknowledge them as Philly. Marsha Ambrosius, you know, like we have so many artists that just put that mark on Philly. Boys to Men, so many. So my music style is R&B. I love R&B. I love love songs. I love stories. I love to hear a story, the beginning, the middle, and the end. I want to know how it started, how it was going, and how it ended. That's something that sparks my curiosity. I love writing R&B songs. But I was raised with a jazz and classical background as well as gospel. So I always try to incorporate a lot of things that not just someone that myself would listen to, but thinking about my fans and my viewers, what would they like to hear as well. So I try to keep things fresh and do things that feel good. Like I love a feel good vibe. So if it feels good, then I'm definitely doing it. I realized I first loved music when I was about 4 years old. I started singing in the church, in a choir with my mom and my older sister. And that sprouted into something. I became a Unison TV kid. We toured all over the US doing all type of acts and performances. And I did that from the age of 4 to 13. At first I didn't notice everything that stood out between myself and others that love music equally. It really took for me to learn a little bit more about life to really realize how much more I felt like I loved music more than people that I knew. So the first step that I took to make me realize that now music is really serious to me definitely happened in my childhood. I was about 7 years old and I was asked to present an award to Jesse Jackson as they were starting their new initiative about, you know, the Black culture. So I was asked to do that. They asked me to sing, and obviously because I was youth, I sung some Little Annie songs. But it was at that moment that I realized that I love this, and this is definitely what I need to be doing with my life. Growing up, my family received my love for music differently. Obviously, my dad, he was the person who was the breadwinner, and most, you know, fathers want to see their daughter ultimately at the end of the day be successful, not live a harsh life, right, obviously. But my father was more driven into books and me finishing my educational goals, where my mother was the person who pushed my passion for music. music. She actually started as a singer when she was younger with a group from Philadelphia called the Shirlettes. She didn't get to go off on tour with them because her granny was very strict. So she kept her from, doing things that she thought was best for her at the time. So my mom basically pushed her dream through me because she saw it in me. So I had a lot of support from my mom pushing my career in my early years. Ultimately, I won my dad over because he knew the passion that I had, and he knew that my mom had this fight in her heart and we weren't going to back down either, so he had to ultimately give in. Since I've been 4 years old, that's when my mom realized, okay, this girl has talent. I have to get someone to see her to start embracing what she has. I started off doing diaper commercials and then commercials for toy stores in New York when I was a toddler. So moving past that, my mom introduced me to a woman named Miss Raquel Williams, and she's the owner of a group called the Unison TV Kids. It's a company that brings youth together and teaches them how to pursue their dreams, whether it's in artistry or entrepreneurship. She put that platform out there for youth to be able, in Philadelphia, to be able to excel at their dreams. So from there, things just started happening. I started getting booked at shows. I started doing award shows at a young age, performing at multiple festivals with the group and without the group, which is Unison TV Kids. And it was just a great experience from a child coming into that. Growing up, my friends have always been super supportive of everything that I've done, even down to doing things that they didn't want to do because I needed background singers or I needed background dancers. I was about 12 or 13 years old, and there was an album that came out by Barbie. And the song was called Think Pink. And if you follow the Barbie Mattel brand, then you know that there's Barbie, Teresa, and Christy. And I can just remember being in my house saying, come on, get the words right. And they were like, we don't really want to do this, but we're doing it because you're asking us to. So, don't get pushy. But my friends have always been super supportive of my goals and my dreams because we just believe in each other. Wow. When I first stepped into a recording booth, some people would not believe that my experience was horrible. I've never sang to hear myself. I've sang to see others' expressions. So I would sing in churches or at events, festivals, and I immediately saw how the crowd reacted to me, and I knew that I was doing great. But then when the first time that I got into a studio booth, recording booth, because my voice is I'm small, but my voice is pretty loud and strong, it scared me, and I didn't really know what to do with it. But it definitely took time to keep trying at it and learning until I was able to now just get into a booth and be like, all right, we good? Perfect, let's roll. Working with producers and engineers is always something that's exciting for me because I'm a visual learner. So I love to be in the studio. I love to be working with new people that I've worked with before, and just kind of watching what they do, because I think it's amazing that some people just have skills, as well as people think that it's amazing that I have a skill that I didn't learn, that I was kind of born with. But people have skills that they just have, and I think it's amazing, and I want to learn. And I love knowledge, and I can't learn enough. We all can't learn enough, but I just want to grasp and absorb as much knowledge as I can. So when it comes to working with my producers and my engineers, I love being hands-on in the studio because I need to see everything that they're doing so I can understand how to explain to someone else. When I first got into the recording part of my career, I didn't start off writing immediately. I didn't really know how to place a song together. I just had words and I didn't know how to put them together. So I started working with a group of individuals with a record label called Mad Face Productions, and they showed me how to put a song together. We worked closely, and at first I started just demoing songs that the producers on that team had written and produced, and then eventually, as we kept working in the studio, I'm like, hey, I have some words, but I don't know how to place or arrange them. So I'm thankful for them, because not only did they just do it, they showed me, which was the most important part of it. I got to learn from that experience. The very first time that I finished my first song was an amazing experience. It was the first time that I was able to hear my vocals to the point where I loved them. I'm such a perfectionist, and sometimes I had to remember, okay, everything's not going to be perfect. And sometimes it's that raw emotion that just comes over so well, and you can't change that, and you can't recap that. So yeah, my first song, hearing it back, I was amazed at myself, honestly. So Unity Day is a big festival that they do down on the Parkway, and it's about togetherness. It's about you're black, you're white, you're brown, you're tan, you're yellow, you're purple, whatever color you are. It's about everyone uniting and bringing that common forthright that we all have, right? That to love, to just be human beings and just exist with each other, right? Because if anything, I have to understand how you exist before I can understand you. So first performance was there at Unity Day, and I just remember before I walked on the stage, I'm walking up the steps with the microphone in my hand, and my heart is beating through my feet. I mean, I can feel it just coming out, but the moment that I actually got up on stage and people were looking at me, I thought I was going to freeze, but I didn't. I just got right into what I was supposed to do, and I didn't even think about the butterflies anymore. And honestly, from that point forward, all of my performances have been the same way. As soon as I'm getting on stage, there's this bunch of adrenaline just running, but it's because I'm excited for what I'm putting on for my fans. I feel like I keep in touch with what's up to date because I do what most people do. I keep in touch with my family. I have a younger sister who is 17. So anytime I'm feeling, not discouraged, but if I'm feeling I need to know what's going on, I call her on the phone, I FaceTime her, and I say, Milan, tell me this right now. And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, I know I have to word it in a way that she's going to understand, like, because they're just young. And she's like, oh, yeah, you just have to say this. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll call you back. So that's how I keep up to date, my sister. I feel like the internet has a great impact on this music genre, this music world right now, right? We came from a time where we had to rely on people to release our music and actually like it first before they did. And we had to think, who were they to tell us if they liked our music or not, or if others were going to like our music. So I'm happy about this internet phase. People are able to just drop what they want when they want it because that's how they feel. That's how they're expressing themselves in this moment. And I think it's amazing. So my team today is strong, and I'm super excited and thrilled to say that because there was a time when I was trying to build my team and it just seemed like it wasn't coming together. But once again, that's that patience thing that I had to learn. I had to learn that things are not going to come when I want them, but when the time is right for them. So right now my team is super strong. I'm working in Atlanta, I'm working in LA. Obviously I'm still working in Philly because that's my home and it'll always be. But my husband is super supportive. He's my number one supporter. My friends, my family, they stand behind me. And that was one of the things that I had to realize, like, wow, these people stand behind me 1000%. Why am I not standing behind myself harder? So yeah, it takes the team, and the team pushes me and I push the team, and we're just going to do what we got to do. Yes, performance definitely takes a bunch of stamina. And if you have not performed, then you definitely do not understand how much stamina it takes to talk, to sing, to, get engaged with the crowd. If you got to go get in the crowd, it's an experience, more than people coming to be entertained. You want them to leave with an experience. You are your brand. So you want people to tell more people. You want people to just tell the masses about you. So you have to do what that takes. I've always worked with a stage coach, Mr. Holly, and he's kept me in tip-top shape to make sure that I'm ready for whatever. I find my strength to keep moving in not just myself, but once again in my team and the people that surround me. They're counting on me. So I've come to a point in my career where I cannot turn back because people are relying on me as well as myself. People are relying on me to make it because they believed in me for so long. They believed in me before I believed in myself. So those people, I can't let them down. My team, they work relentlessly. They work hard each and every day to make things happen for me. Open doors, this interview that we've had today, and just making sure that things go the way that they are supposed to for Raquel. in the future and making sure that doors open. So my team is important. It's important for me to make people proud that gave that spark to me. So many people have work-life balance. Being a singer and a songwriter and a philanthropist is a job. It's my job. It's my brand. So balancing my personal life, which is, my wonderful husband and my mom who fell ill a few years back. I take care of her full time, and you make it work. You make it happen. It was a hard struggle at first, and it was actually a struggle that made me doubt my music career just because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do both. One night I was sleeping and I woke up abruptly because my mom came to me in a dream. It scared me because she's laying in the next room. So the thought that came to my mind first was obviously devastating. But I listened to what the dream says, and she says, you need to follow your dreams. And I looked at her and I said, what do you mean, Mommy, follow your dreams? She's like, you know what I'm talking about. And then I woke up. So I immediately ran into her room and she was asleep. I startled her and I woke her up and I'm like, Mommy, were you just in my dream? And she just looked at me and she smiled. So I don't know if that meant that she knew what I was talking about or not, but like I said, I do take care of her. She's in a state where she needs 100% care, and it was hard, but I listened to her advice, and it seems like the moment that I started to stop stressing so much about the things that I can't change, doors started opening up and my eyes and my ears started opening up to the things that were around me, the people, my team, my other loved ones that were like, you can do this, let's do it, we can make it work, whatever we got to do to make it work, we can. I have an amazing staff at home for my mom, actually, that shout out to them. Because they make it possible for me to be able to travel around and do the things that I need to do to make sure that Rachel Raquel becomes the brand that she needs to become. I've done some acting. I would say I'm an actress. But I've had some roles and some leading roles in some stage plays. First stage play I did was one called Whose Body Is It? It was a stage play that was produced by Parentheses E. I was also in another stage play called Black Diamond, where I was the lead character. Her name was Diamond, and it's based off of the best-selling novel Black Diamond. So obviously that was one of my most exciting stage plays I did because it was about fashion, fast cars, money, all the fun stuff that you like to see in a movie. It was exciting. And then I've done like some acting roles on some other things, but I'd like to maximize my potential, obviously, and just do things that make me feel good and feel good. If I'm reached out to by any brands or sponsorships or anything of that nature, if it feels good to me, then 9 times out of 10, I'm going to accept. Once again, guys, it's Rachel Raquel, and it's been a pleasure here at the Recap Room. Make sure you follow me on my website, www.IamRachelRaquel.com.